Welcome everyone to a little bonus. We got a Christmas special here for you. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. If you're listening to this when it drops, it should be Christmas morning. And you're going to get a little something different. Something just from me. Chris is busy being a family person. He has stuff to do, so I'm here giving you the Fat or Whack Packers a little bit of a Christmas surprise under your tree. So, what could we talk about? That's not holiday, not season 5, not yet season 6. But what's under your tree? We're talking toys. So let's do a quick recap and review of what's going on in the Juggalo toy business. You also, depending on how you're gathering this, you may be listening to this audio, or we may have a video version. So keep that in mind. Check the YouTube if you want to see what's going on with everything that I am talking about here. I am going to go in reverse order because that's how we do things. Let's take it to 2023. As you may or may not know, Twisted has the Funko Pops. They are official, licensed. They were hard to find at first, but I think you can kind of get them now a little easier. And you can also get them on the Twisted web store, autographed. I believe those are still up there, so if you're still in need, I would check those out. Those are good, nice official product. Very cool. Still going backwards, Twisted is in the business of toys with the Knuckleheadz. So if you're not familiar with the Knuckleheadz, they've put out a couple different versions. The original ones were a blocks 3-pack. So it had Monoxide, Madrox, and Draven, and they were little, I don't know. They just call them the blocks. But let me pull up a picture here as I'm talking about them. And they're just all in black, nice little long box. They're kind of like Legos, I would say. Interesting. I never had them, but they're out there. But then they came out with the 2-packs, and there's lots of different versions of these. So we have individual Madrox and Monoxide. They're wearing white shirts, and they come in an orange box. And like I said, those are, you can have one or the other. The next ones are 2-packs. So there's a out of 500 red, out of 500 green. There's an orange Fright Fest version that's only out of 100, and that comes with a certificate of authenticity. You have a purple version, also out of 100 from Astronomicon, and then there is a prototype 2-pack, which is only out of 50, and that I also believe comes with an autographed COA. I assume the Astro one does too. I don't know that for sure. But yeah, there's lots of different Knuckleheadz 2-packs if you are a Twisted collector. So those have come out in the past couple of years, so go check those out if you wish. Continuing to go backwards, Twisted had, it looks like one of their first forays in the recent era was these little half-pint figures. I don't know who made them. Let me look at the picture. They're just called half-pint. They depict the Freak Show era. You have a Madrox, you have a Monoxide, you also have a Split Angel version. Don't know if those are any rarer. One or the other is rarer than the others, but you have 3 versions of that Split Angel. Kind of cool. Kind of like, I'd almost say like a micro brawler, if you're familiar with those in the wrestling world. So yeah. That's something else there for you if you are diving into the nostalgia. There's a big gap here where there's no figures, to be honest. We're taking a little bit of a jump here. I am finding the Soda Joker card 4-inch figures. So you have all 6 Joker cards and a Hatchet Man. So Hatchet Man running backwards, by the way. That's a whole nother debate that I don't think we've ever really gotten into on the podcast, and some people may find that funnier than others. But Yeah, the Hatchet Man going right to left. That's I don't like that. Should be going left to right. Anyways, these are little 4-inch figures that are on a little stand. I believe all Joker cards came out, although I can only find pictures of a couple of them. So if they're out there, they're there for you. Hopefully you have them all and you can let us know. Soda also put out the Twisted figures, which they've had a couple different names, but it just looks like they're choking each other, which is hilarious. Like they're growing out of one figure and they're two separate ones, but I believe that's only one figure. They're called I don't know what they're called. They have different names, but I just see them as Soda. And that's SOTA, by the way. And there's a normal version with the normal faces, and then there's one with the red faces. So that's a little bit rarer to find, so you can pay a little more to get the red one. Let's go in backwards yet again. Now we're digging back into ICP. So they have 10-inch NECA figures, which kind of crazy now that NECA is huge. Not that it always wasn't, but you have a Jay and a Shaggy, because why wouldn't you do both? That'd be pretty preposterous to only do one. The boxes are red, and same exact box for both Jay and Shaggy. They are real funny looking. I mean, I'm sure they have the best articulation and they're probably the best action figures, because NECA is probably the best brand out there. But God, they look goofy. Their faces just are not on point. But hey, if you're a collector, it's what you need. You want them on your desk? Do you have a desk at work? Do you need little figurines to keep you happy? Then by all means, get those 10-inch NECA figures. That came out in 2007. Moving back to, I believe, 2003, Twisted had these little homies figures. They're like, I don't know, maybe not even 2 inches. Is that 2 inches? You tell me. I don't know. 2 inches is a lot. That's what I've heard. They were available at FYE when you pre-ordered or just bought the green book at FYE. They came sealed, so they're in a little baggie. These are probably the shittiest, cheapest little figures. I mean, they're meant to be little and kitschy, but they're there. They're kind of hard to find, actually. I don't know if they're super expensive, but they're out there, and people enjoy the littleness of them. You can just put them in your pocket. How cute. Soda came out again. Now we're back into May of 2003 of 7-inch tall ICP vinyl figures. Got a couple different versions of these. So they came in original face paint. You also have the Wraith era face paint. And they also came out with a zombie style in 2004. So looking at the pictures here, zombie ones have it, not zombie sailor, but zombie like green skin and dirty bullshit. Those came out and they have the Wraith face paint as well. Yeah, they're kind of over, what's the word? Very cartoony and over the top, but they're fun for their time. Those are really well done, actually. Mid 2002, we have bobbleheads, because early 2000s, if you kids don't remember, bobbleheads were the craze. So they were also called head knockers, which, whatever. They're about 9 inches tall. They are sold separately. And the different ones they have, I believe there's a Jay, a Shaggy. Jay is wearing, let's see. He's wearing his usual jean outfit, buttoned all the way to the top, like a lunatic. And then Shaggy is wearing what's supposed to be a Flames Jekyll Brother jersey. But there's also a Shaggy version with red hair instead of brown hair. So you have a couple different versions there if you want to seek after your crazy bobblehead collection. I know I have a ton of Pistons bobbleheads, so who am I to say what's fun and what's, stupid. We're going to skip over that one for a second. Dark Carnival figures. We talked about these in season 5. They are the 9-inch figures that came out pretty much at the same time as the comic books. Some came with a CD, some didn't. So you have 2 different sealed versions if you want. You have a Jay and a Shaggy, they came separately, and it's in a green box, and on the back is a Chaos comic drawing. It says the Dark Carnival action figures. So, there's a Chaos logo on it too. So I guess that ties into that all very nicely. Those are actually not bad for what they were in that era. Not a bad little Dark Carnival figure. Thank you, Spencer's Gifts. Now we're going to have 2 different ones here. If you know anything about that era of Psychopathic, you have had or seen the Been-E-Boyz. It's a giant box. You have 5. You have both of Twisted, both of ICP, and Alex Abyss right there in the middle. They talked about these being rare, but goddamn, they had so many of these, they were just giving them away. Limited edition collector set, Snuggable Thugs. They're actually kind of fun. They are going on the Beanie Boy craze of the late 90s. Again, everyone has these. If you don't, maybe time has come to a point where they're rare now, but in the past eras, they were so easy to come across. So what I skipped by before, there's also prototypes of these. They were auctioned at the Gathering 2001. It was just Jay and Shaggy, and they sold for $310. We never got a picture of them. I'm sure there's pictures out there, but from my recollection, they didn't look anything like the final product. But if you know anything about those, hit us up. We want to know. Let's see, 1999, back at Spencer's Gifts yet again. The Play With Me action figures. These are the ones I'm sure you've seen. They are, also kind of abundant, but I feel like in time, they've gotten a little harder to find. Even wrestling figure collectors have been starting on getting these. They were first available in Spencer's. They got banned, quote unquote, because of the language on the back, but really they just put a sticker over it and they kept selling them. So those are getting harder and harder to find, I guess. But again, that's one of those things, people of our era, the boomer juggalos, it seems like everyone had them, but as time goes on, just like everything, they get a little harder to find. Now we're getting back to the nitty gritty. 1997, as you may or may not remember, Great Malenko, about to come out. Hollywood Records is going to put out ICP action figures. And by action figures, I mean they look like Barbie dolls. They are just they're dolls. We collect action figures. These things are straight up dolls. They never came out because Hollywood, Disney, everything got put on the shelf. There was an ad, a famous ad in Metro Times in the Detroit newspaper where you see them and everyone's like, oh, that's what they're going to look like, da-da-da. Never came out. So the ones from the ad were auctioned at the Gathering 2000 and they sold for just over $600. The person who bought them owned a record store in Michigan, and he always had them sitting in a display in the front. He was trying to sell them a couple of years later. I don't know if anyone ever actually bought them, but they're out there. You would like to think they have a certificate of authenticity with them, so hopefully if you come across them, you got to have that with it just to make sure. Also, just the knowledge of the toy business now. If Hollywood and Disney was actually making these figures, there would probably be more than just one set of prototypes. There's probably a couple. Maybe they got destroyed. Maybe there's different versions as they go along. There could be more than one. So if you see something like this, be careful. Just letting you know that they are out there, and the ones from the Gathering should have a certificate. While we're talking about things that have never come out, now we're going to get into kind of the main event here. At the Gathering 2002, they auctioned off 6 drawings of toys that never came out. And two of my friends split the auction. They ended up putting the pictures back together, and I ended up with them eventually. So I am going to show you right now, if you're watching on video, what they are. The first two, we have Jay and Shaggy solos. They are both wearing green, kind of like army, Jekyll brother, I would say, era with their little fingernails. So you have Jay, you have Shaggy. So as you can see, if you're watching the video, these are on cardboard with the drawing on top. The faces aren't great on these, but they would have been interesting figures. Who knows how tall they would have been? Are we talking like 7-inch, 12-inch? Would they have had like soft goods like they were Barbie? Don't know. Hard to say. Let's see what else is next. This one is wild card figurines. So you had all 5 Joker cards up to that point, and ICP wearing their yellow and red suits. So would the Joker cards have come on those little stands? Again, how tall are we talking? Are these going to be 12-inch, 7-inch? Are they going to be like the little things you put the quarter in the machine and you get? I don't know. But it's a very cool idea. These next 3 are the ones that I always thought were the coolest ones. Let's go with this one next. Oh, as I punch the microphone. These have to be super small. I mean, we're talking like 2 inches. These are sparking wind-ups. So you have Jay and Shaggy together, the little things where you like turn it and they waddle, and it looks like they have sparks coming out of their face. Jay's holding a Faygo Cola, Shaggy is holding an axe or a hatchet. Again, if those came out, I think that's kind of cool. Interesting drawing, very cartoony. Those probably would have taken 3 cents to make, and they would have charged you a shitload of money. And then the last 2 here are called Squeeze Boys. We have individual Jay and Shaggy. They're like, have you ever seen the things where it's like the little squeezy Santa Claus, and you like squeeze it and his eyes pop out, or there's like the little dachshund and you squeeze him and the poop comes out of the butt? That is what the idea is of these 2. So you have Jay and Shaggy. Squeeze toys. Interesting. Again, I bet these are just small little rubber deals, but would they have been popular sellers? Would they have been little stocking stuffers? What would the packaging have looked like? Who knows? We will never know unless maybe there's prototypes of those out there that went further than the drawings. Couldn't tell you. But these drawings are safe and sound in my possession, in my collection, so hopefully no one goes out there and makes more of them. Don't do it. That's stealing and wrong. I think that's about it. I've seen some, like, if you know the Wrestling Buddies, I believe there's 2 ICP Wrestling Buddies that are like that from very, very recently. I swear there's a Boondocks one, which makes me think there's more of the Juggalo characters. And then I saw a J, maybe from a gathering, very recently. And then I saw a J one that's way smaller for the walking home that I believe is a keychain. So that's something a little different too. Couldn't get much info on that. So we just stuck with what we know. And that is what we've told you. I think that's it. I hope that you guys enjoy this little bonus under the tree for your Christmas holiday, for the working man and working woman, Juggalo and Juggalette out there. That's about it. I think this wraps season 5, unless we have something else going on. Stay tuned to all of our social medias for updates on season 6. We may have a contest, giveaway, so you can win some fabulous prizes here in the next couple weeks. We're going to be in a couple different places. Look for us, or look for me at New Year's Evil. Just follow our social medias and you'll know where we're doing, what we're doing, how we're doing, and the like. So, thank you for checking in. Hope you have a happy holiday week, and we will see you for season 6.